Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied.
Get off my plane.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
John, I'm not gonna shoot you between the eyes. I'm gonna shoot you between the balls.
The disease. And I'm the cure.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent.
There can be only one.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to kill them all, sir.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Gimme Back My Action Movies, the podcast. I got it right this time, everybody.
Woo!
I got it right this time. It is me, Charlie, one of your hosts, and with me, as always, is Pete. Say hello to the people, Pete.
Hello, people. How are you tonight? This is Pete.
That's why I said
Sisu.
This is Pete. And next to Pete,
Sisu.
we have our scream queen, Anna, which hopefully she was screaming more in joy than in pain for tonight's movie. Hello, Anna.
Hello. Yes, so much joyful screaming was done on my end. This movie.
I was
Yes.
loving your messages. Boy, you were having a hoot.
I had so much fun with this movie. Yes.
I could hear you screaming, the horse.
The horse. What? Yeah.
Oh my God.
This was one that I kept under my hat for the longest time of what we were going to finish out Banger March with, because we just wanted to just hit everything. And I struggled. Like, I really had like this whole, I felt like I was planning the month of action again, because I went, well, this was kind of cool, but I like this one. It's like, ooh, maybe I could do this movie. And, it was just, and we were hitting the 80s, the 90s, our 200th, all this other stuff. And I was like, I need something new. I need something new, but old. What's that old adage? Something new, something old, something
Borrowed, something blue.
Something borrowed, something killed Nazis.
Yeah.
I decided that now was the time for us to cover Sisu from 2022. Unfortunately, as you heard last week, Nate's taking a break / left for a while. We don't know when he's coming back. Sabbatical. That's a good word for that. I like it. Yep, somewhere around there. So I had picked this when he was still on. We were all excited for it. I thought Anna was going to be the wild card on how she reacted to this, and we'll get into that in a minute. But now's when I normally play a trailer. And when I picked this movie, I knew I was in trouble, because I remember this trailer. I know this trailer well. And I went, no dialogue until almost 2 minutes in. And it's not a dialogue heavy movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, damn it. How do I do this? Because I still need to get everyone in the mood. And then it dawns on me. The movie gave us the trailer. So I have the trailer straight from the movie. So here we go. My version of Sisu, the trailer.
The general, he has given us orders. Turn back and head to Norway from Finland immediately.
Did you tell him he just killed 7 of our men?
I did.
And?
He thinks we were lucky. Fucking lucky. The dog tags belonged to a man named Aatami. He was a Finnish commando, the most feared in his unit. The general said, and I quote, "He's one mean motherfucker that you do not want to mess with." He fought in the Winter War, lost his home and his family to the Russians. He became a ruthless, vengeful soldier who took orders from no one. The Finns, they gave up trying to discipline or control him. They just sent him out, alone, into the wilderness to hunt Russian patrols. he became a one-man death squad. The reports are unconfirmed, but it looks like he has over 300 Russian kills. The Russians, they gave him a name. They call him Koshai, the Immortal.
So yeah, I could not describe this movie any better than the Nazis did in this movie. Right there, everything you need to know about our main protagonist. His name is not Sisu.
Right.
I know. I fail
Yeah.
at that. I still call him Sisu.
Yeah, it is actually Aatami, Aatami.
Sounds right.
Aatami.
But they also
Kopek
they
or
called him
something?
Koshai.
Koshai.
That's
That's
what
it.
the Russians called him. We can just call him the badass, the immortal, whatever you want to call him. And if we say Sisu, I think everyone's going to understand what we're talking about.
Well, forgive us, but whatever.
Exactly.
Sorry in advance, y'all.
No.
Exactly.
I'm going to say this right now. If you have not seen this movie, I implore you,
Stop what you're
stop
doing.
us,
Yeah.
go watch it. I'm also going to take that a step further. Don't just go watch it. Don't go get it on streaming. Don't go pirate it. Go buy this fucking movie and put it in your collection because it belongs
To keep
in your collection. Absolutely. It is a tight 91 minutes. This is pure gold and what we're going to get into here as we start talking about it. So let's start with we're all obviously not going to have long histories with this.
Right.
It's not even 3 years old yet. But Pete, let's start with you, brother. What's your history with Sisu?
But Charlie, I'm pretty sure you mentioned this a couple times on the podcast.
I championed this movie for
Yeah,
a while.
yeah, and I think I gave in. I'm like, all right, fine, we'll see it. And you're like, it's Nazis, he's killing them. I'm like, that's a good time.
Yeah,
I like that. And I went to the library and I got this one. I have purchased it since then. But yeah, this movie is. There's not a lot of story there, but there's enough and you know what's going on. And without saying a lot, there's so much being said without actual dialogue there. It's really a beautiful bit of directing how these people were able. Sisu himself didn't speak until like the last minute of the movie.
The very last scene.
Yeah, the very last thing said on screen was him.
Yeah.
Large bills, please.
Not so damn heavy to carry.
It's I think I thanked you right away, Charlie.
You did. As soon as you got done. Yeah.
I needed that one. That felt good. So yeah, that's my very limited history with it.
Right. So Anna,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is a first time watch for you.
Mhm.
But what is, let's see, had you heard of the movie before I picked it?
Well, when you first said Sisu, it didn't click, but I remembered the poster, like what the poster looked like. And then once I looked it up and saw the poster, it clicked. I was like, oh, okay, I know this. And I brought it up to Dad because he's the war movie guy. And he's like, oh, yeah, I've seen that. That's good. And he's usually, you know, he's not as into like the violence and gore per se as I am, but just he's more into the history and the story of it, which, you know, that comes hand in hand with war. But I honestly kind of was going into this expecting it to be way longer than an hour and a half. When I saw it was an hour and 31 minutes, I was like, okay, well, let's see what this thing has. And then once I realized that Aatami, not Sisu.
Thank you.
He was.
I already screwed that up.
He was the dad in Rare Exports, which we just covered on the Baron's Hideout back in December. So it's super fresh on my mind. And I said that in the Slack. And then Nate was like, same director too. And I was like, oh shit, no way. And then Pete was like, yeah, and the tank driver's his son, which once I finally got to look at him, I was like, that's the boy, our little hero.
You can totally see it. It's like they're like 5 years apart or something like that.
Yeah.
I think these movies are like 5 years apart.
No, like 10 years, isn't it? What?
Oh, okay. That makes even more sense.
Yeah, Rare Exports was 2012, I believe.
Tank driver is an adult man, and the son in
he was a little boy running around in his
watch
underwear.
I still need to watch Rare Exports.
Oh God!
Oh, Charlie, it's good.
As you implored people to watch Sisu, you need to see Rare or Exports. I don't think it's in English at all, but it's
not.
It's batshit crazy. It's wonderful.
So yeah, I jumped into this. Dad had already watched. He was actually watching The French Connection. He was like, "I'm going to finish this." So I was like, "Well, I've got to watch this for tomorrow." So once I started it, I was in. I was in all the way. I loved this. I feel like he was really kind of inspired by Quentin Tarantino a little bit. Like the chapter title cards, I loved. I thought it was a great touch. The font as well. And I just, especially the credits at the end too. I was like, this just feels like kind of Tarantino-y. So I dug that also. But I had so much fun, and I'm glad you picked it. This was a banger way to end the month.
Thank you. I definitely agree. And French Connection, 100% behind your dad watching that. I mean, R.I.P. Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, yeah, that's why I was watching it.
I adore it. We're let's see, depending on when this comes out, hopefully we've done our Uncommon Valor over on the Action Elite, which is one of my absolute favorite Gene Hackman movies with Red Brown. It's a good missing in action movie, Pete.
Why?
Yeah, I never thought I'd say that. You know, I've always grown up thinking I love missing in action.
No, I get it though. Yeah.
Watch Uncommon Valor instead. I think I even said that in the episodes. Like, just watch Uncommon Valor. It's a better version of it. You get everything you wanted in there. But so my history. Now, this is going to be where I'm going to be completely pissed off at the movie industry and distribution. And while I understand we were coming out of the tail end of COVID and all that bullshit, which is how this movie came about, this movie was in theaters for maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, I was going to ask that later. Like, I don't remember this at all.
And I don't even think it got to where I was. So it was probably limited release in those 2 to 3 weeks. So I will be one of the people that will admit that I unfortunately had to go the route of sail the high seas to find this movie because it wasn't on Blu-ray yet. It didn't go to the theaters where I needed it to. We all got a copy of it and we all watched it and we absolutely fucking loved it. I got this and I had it on my hard drive and I was staying in Ohio with my buddy Rob and Anthony. It was one night after work and we were like, let's watch a movie. What do you got? And I went, I got this movie called Sisu. I really want to see it. The trailer looks amazing. I got done watching that and Rob and Anthony are just sitting at the other side of me and they went, we didn't really watch the movie. We watched you. You had the absolute most fun I've ever seen someone like emote on their face watching this movie. Because that was the treat. Like the movie was great. Your reactions was amazing. And I was like, yeah. And every time I watch it, I think I react the exact same way. This was the first time watch for Jackie last night because I have bought this movie since then. Unfortunately, couldn't find the steel book. That sucker disappeared real fast.
I need to buy it now.
It had the extra plastic slip cover, and the slip cover was the knife going across his eyes. So when you pull it up, it's Sisu looking at you, and you put it back down, the knife's going across. But I do have the Blu-ray, which is amazing, and the DVD on it. I bought this for my dad. He loves this movie. But yeah, and Jackie got done watching this last night. Exact same reactions Anna did to the horse exploding. It's like, what the fuck was that?
I was like, what the fuck? No.
It was so fast.
You don't out of nowhere. I was like,
it felt like a good jump scare. Like,
yeah.
Like that one jump scare that really got you that one time.
Yeah,
same thing.
Got me, all right.
Same emotion, same gasp of breath.
Yeah,
and she went in absolutely blind, no trailer. She even when the movie was starting, she goes, "Okay, what's the premise?" And I went, "No, I'm not.
Just watch."
I was like, "Just watch it." I there's nothing I can say that will either A, make sense, or B, not really kind of. Not that there's any spoilers really in this movie once you kind of break it down to the bare bones. I mean, once you realize what this movie is actually.
Once you know the premise, you know what's going to happen.
There's not much spoilery to it, but right. I was just like, you know what? You're going to go in as blind as other than I saw the trailer as I did. And she loved it. She absolutely had a blast with it. This is an amazing movie. So getting into it. So like I said, this was done in 2022. And I'm gonna mess up names. This is Finnish.
Yeah.
This just I thought we got a new desk, Anna. We got a new
That
desk,
was
Anna.
me hitting the mic.
You could have blamed that on the cat again, and we would have.
No.
Neither of us would have known.
It was me. I was trying to get my phone to help you with some pronunciation. So have fun, sir.
Suck it.
I busted her out. She busted me out. Jalmari Helander, who is a Finnish director, and that's one of the things I love so much about this movie is it's technically a foreign film that was obviously influenced by American action movies and history and stuff like that. This isn't based on a true story. There's a lot of elements kind of grabbed from I think there's a thing about one of the snipers from World War II that had a ton of kills, and I think the battle and times are accurate, but there wasn't one Finnish guy called the Immortal running around killing hundreds of people. In the landscape.
This is much like John Rambo. That's
very much so.
It's not based on a real person, but it kind of surrounds real things.
Yeah, it surrounds real events somewhat.
Yeah, real events. Plus, you get me a movie where we get to kill Nazis in gratuitous ways. I'm in.
Always.
It's
always
one of my favorite. Inglourious Bastards, Overlord. I want all the scalps. Dead Snow, even though I didn't really care for the movie, I will always be a fan of killing
the
Nazis.
first one wasn't any good, but that second one was special. I know you didn't like. I don't know. I have no idea why you didn't like that.
I don't. I don't.
God,
I don't know. It's just not good. Not good. It's also, I just also like knowing that I can just be mad at the bad guys because now Russians can be bad guys again, and they're bad guys in this movie. Germans are bad guys, and it's always about Nazis, so we're always okay to be mad at them.
Yep.
And so I have zero complaints about the setup of this movie. $6.5 million budget that they did on this.
Wow, that's breadcrumbs.
Worldwide, and this is because of that stupid limited release, it did 14 million. So I think it still did good because there was no marketing behind this movie. I mean,
money.
It made money. There's whispers of a sequel. I don't know how I feel about that right now. I don't know if I want his story to continue.
I would like to see a young Sisu.
Ooh, a prequel. Him in the war.
Show me him in the war, like him going through all that. I could be down for that.
Hell yeah.
But
you could even make him like a Finnish James Bond, minus the sexy bits. Every movie's a vignette of like this is his mission for that or his mission for that.
Like a different era of his life.
Yeah.
Oh, I dig that. Yeah.
Could do something like that. But
Indiana Jones, same kind of sort of idea.
But this is the other reason I picked this is it's in the name of the show. This is an action movie that gives me back those feelings of action movies from the 80s and 90s. It's to the point, it's violent, it's fast, it's kinetic, and I'm hooting and hollering all the way through it and enjoying all of life as I'm watching this movie. And it's just fun. Like being able to put some fun back into an action movie is something that it's for whatever reason it's getting harder and harder to do. Like I find the John Wick movies fun, but it's like 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours now.
I haven't watched them.
And I'm like, I like this, but
it's good.
We don't need to be this long, movies like Nobody, that right there, Nobody, Sisu.
I haven't seen it either.
Movies like those are some of my favorite, more current movies.
Well, I think too, when for me anyways, like when you think of a war drama or a war movie, that's like I said, I went in expecting this to be at least 2 hours long. And when I saw the runtime, I was like, okay, this is a treat. I'm here for this. But like you said, it's straight to the point and they don't really waste any time. And you don't have a whole lot of dialogue throughout the whole movie.
It's no dialogue to waste time. They're just they got this story. It's a journey from point A to point B, and
we're on the journey with him.
Shenanigans he gets in between those points.
This is very much along the lines of Soldier with Kurt Russell, where he barely says anything in the entire. This is actually less dialogue than that entire movie. I mean, I don't know if I'm sure there's other, well, there's Silent Night, so there's other movies with less dialogue in them, but this just reminded me of that. This means I don't need a ton of talking or one-liners or anything like that. If you make the story compelling as far as showing me what the story is and giving me that little bit of dialogue through the Nazis version of it, that's the only people talking in this movie till the end is the Nazis and the Finnish women that are captured, that they have as hostages slash.
Yeah, they do the expo drop.
Yeah.
They do it, and that's also why I'm glad you said that, Pete, because our main girl, and I don't know what I think it's, I am going to mess it up.
It's
again.
awfully complicated.
Aino, Aino, whatever, however you would pronounce her name. She's our leading lady in this hostages slash slaves.
Yeah, total
they're-
sex
they're-
slaves.
These are the spoils of war. So
there
to
you
speak.
go. Yeah,
They have been captured and they are being used and abused
We
until
get
they
that.
probably die.
We get that shot
frankly.
too of whenever we first see the women, and there's that one laying on the ground, and that one ugly
he's
Mhm.
pig
zipping his
guy
pants
gets up, zipping his pants up. But when he walks by, she like pulls her dress down over
Yep.
her knee, and I was
She
like,
covers
"Oh."
all of her skin.
Yeah,
And
I was
that
like,
was it.
that's what's going on here,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
fuckers.
our
Yeah.
main girl, which is why I wanted at the beginning to say our main character is not Sisu. He is of Sisu, which is what that word basically means. And I like how they said it has no what do they say? No translation.
Yeah. If you've studied any languages, there's always this word that is
Yeah.
nigh impossible to translate into English just because of the culture, what it means to the culture.
But
And
then they go and they give us their best interpretation of it, which is stoic determination, grit, bravery, resilience, and hardiness. And watching this movie, it's probably my 5th or 6th time watching it, I realized she is also Sisu
good
in
point.
this movie.
Mhm.
She has every bit of the grit and determination
From the minute you
that-
see her.
yeah, that the Immortal has. And I love it. I mean, when you get that, when that clicks, when you watch it and you're like, shit, I mean, all of the women do, obviously. She is the lead one though. And that's the one where I'm just like, she takes charge of the situation when she's able to. And she is very much that determination, that Sisu. And I love it. I absolutely, there's not a wasted scene on here. This is one of the rare movies. There's nothing I would cut because I think
nothing.
the runtime is
No.
perfect. The buildup of him finding the gold at the beginning, he's walked away from the war, just like it says in our intro, for the trailer. He's just wanting that simple life. How do you survive? Finland is being eradicated off of the map, basically. When the Nazis were driven
Scorched
out
earth.
of Finland, they enacted a scorched earth. Exactly. They burnt everything. They were losing.
Salted the earth while
Yeah.
they walked through it.
They
laid
knew they were
landmines.
losing.
Mhm.
And they're like, if we can't have it, no one can have it. And that's the mentality of the Nazis in this. So the Immortal is just he's a simple man trying to make a simple living. He's a gladiator. Russell Crowe, just wants to be a farmer, not a warrior. But he finds a shit ton of gold. And Anna, you already said the Quentin Tarantino thing with the title cards. That glow of the gold upon
his
his
face. I thought that too. The briefcase.
immediately Pulp Fiction.
Uh-huh.
I was like,
Oh yeah.
I definitely see some influences, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, same.
Gathering all that stuff up. It's also his I don't give a fuck attitude, where he knows the battles are going on. He sees the planes flying by, but he's still just, there's the road. I'm loading my shit up and I'm following this road to the next town, and passes these Nazis who are on their way out of Finland and looks them like you expected him to like turn his eye away from, the general or whatever rank this guy was. And they're staring each other down. and it's just like this. Who's going to break first? Who's going to stop looking at the other? Because you'd think somebody'd be worried, like, oh, don't pay attention to me. I'm just passing by. No, the immortal just stares these motherfuckers in the eye.
He's telling them, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't make me do it.
I'll let you go. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
You'll do yourself a favor. Don't fuck with me.
And for whatever reason, he lets him go. But it's also, he knew his other guys were down there, and
they were worse than this company was, I think, is what he was saying. He's walking into his own death.
I thought that first. I thought that he would, once he did meet up with the other crew that he ends up slaughtering first. I thought he meant that as well, but then I think he really meant the landmines, because I think he thought, well, if he can manage to get through our other comrades over there, well, he's dead anyways. So either way, he obviously doesn't care about losing life of his fellow troops. So, he didn't care if they lived or died, really. I think he just turned around because he wanted to know what was going on and why there were so many gunshots, because if it should have just been one,
It comes around to where it's like, he wasn't worth their time at first.
Right.
The other guys were a little bit more of the boisterous,
pricks,
frat style Nazis, I guess if you want to call them.
The fratsies.
The fratsies.
The worst of the worst.
Yeah, the worst.
But, and I also think there is the landmines and everything, but he's literally saying there's nothing back there. Like, we've
already burned that town to the ground.
Yeah. So you're just going to keep writing and writing and writing. So there's a lot of different ways to interpret it, and I don't think it's meant to be super as deep as we're trying to get into it, but it's still kind of fun to kind of pick at, especially
it also
watching
doesn't
it
spoon feed
times.
you. It leaves a lot of interpretation.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. You don't need to know all the details. That would have made it a 2-hour movie.
That's exactly. Too much dialogue would have drug it out. Too much talking. We get our first little bit of talking pretty much not even from this scene. It's the next one where they stop him and make him get off the horse. They realize he's panning for gold, which immediately is like, oh, then he must have gold on him. And they're expecting probably a small little thing of it. They find
jackpot,
giant boulders of gold. Like, is there that much gold in Finland? Like, is it really?
This was the gold rush of Finland. I read that somewhere, that this is the start of the 40. Was it 44? Was it?
40? Yeah, it was like 44, 45.
Yeah, because it's been right at the end of the war.
The Finnish gold rush is what it was called somewhere.
Yeah,
online.
So he has like 2 side saddle satchel packs full of gold. I mean, that stuff has to weigh.
That poor horse.
A concrete sack, like 80 pounds of concrete everywhere. That horse was tough. That horse didn't even
big horse.
care. I love that horse. And they give him shit. And good Lord, the actor that plays, the immortal, everything's said through his eyes and his movements.
His face. It's just
his face, him gripping making that fist. And they don't quite do the knuckle crack, but it's just enough.
It's implied
sound.
Just
that
enough.
He's ready. He's hardened, and they're just being jackanapes, and they're going to kill him. And they try to kill the dog, which I did have to spoil that for Jackie. And it's only because they did it in the trailer. And I was like, I'm going to do this on this. Only because they said it in the trailer. In the trailer, big words pop up and it goes, "Don't worry, the dog lives." That is in the trailer.
I love it.
The Sisu. Everybody was saying this is a World War II.
Don't kill another dog.
World War II John Wick. So everyone's like, oh no, they're going to kill the dog again. And the director's like, nah, put it in there. Don't worry, the dog lives. And I told Jackie that. She goes, oh, thank God. So that's all she cared
That's part of the reason why I was in the Slack saying these Nazis can't shoot worth a shit. Like, they can't shoot the broadside of a barn, let alone a little dog running through there.
I'm
glad they missed him, but I was like, they can't shoot worth shit.
I think what a lot of people forget when it comes to that is a lot of soldiers weren't battle hardened or even that well trained
properly. Right.
That's why you have those automatic guns.
Point name. That's all you
don't
gotta
need
do.
to be. Yeah, you don't need to be skilled at shooting an automatic gun. You just
Spray and pray. That's
yeah,
it.
yep.
That's where a lot of it is there. Like the marksman is the second in command. He's the better shot. Everyone else is just, and they're not expecting this guy to do what he does.
They're not expecting a guy called the Immortal to show
No,
up.
they're not expecting. He's a Minecraft guy. He's mining for gold. He's got a pickaxe with him, but he obliterates these guys, and I love that first kill, the most notable kill with that
fucking
knife.
I was like, huh, what?
Right from one temple to the other. This
Yeah.
big old Bowie knife or Rambo knife, whatever.
And then
it was.
I
Oh my
was
God.
strapped the fuck in at that point.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
here we go, buddy. I'm here for it.
Put your seatbelt on. You're in for a ride.
Right. And the other Nazis are like, the fuck just happened? What did he do?
Exactly. The looks on their faces were priceless because they exactly said that. Like, oh, what?
This old man?
I just need this moment. And you start realizing how absolute badass he is. They hear the gunshots in the distance, which is probably the most unbelievable thing in the movie, that they heard gunshots while riding a fucking tank down a dirt road.
Good point.
You wouldn't have heard shit. You wouldn't.
Pretty loud.
You've got 2 2.5s in front of you. You're on a tank on top of it. You're not hearing those gunshots in the distance. That you would have been a half a day going, the fuck are those guys? They should have been here by now. It's just a flat tire. But not. But you gotta have a reason for them to turn around and go find him. And again, Sisu, I just did it. The Immortal gets back on his horse and goes down the road.
Just keeps going.
I'm doing my thing. Don't fuck with me. I've shown you why not to. And I think they would have turned around had they not found that piece of gold.
I was thinking that, had he picked up all the straggly pieces that were left behind, I don't think their dicks were that big to where they were going to be like, no, we're going to fight this one guy just to prove a point. Like, like he was saying, the war's already over. We're going to be out of here in 2 weeks. And he's our ticket out because of all that money that he's sitting on. Like, had none of that been seen, he would have been good.
They were on their way to deserting the army, I'm guessing. Well, they're on their way to a rendezvous, but once they found this gold, the captain or the sergeant's like, we're out.
Gave him his out. Yeah.
We're out, guys. We're going to find a way we're going to get rid of these uniforms. We're going to find this gold and we're just going to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah. We're going to South America where
Go to
all
Disneyland.
the other ones went. So, but yeah, that's pretty much kind of what it comes down to, is this is now driven by the gold. The gold is what everyone's wanting. The Immortal doesn't want to give it up because that's his lifeline to, surviving. His livelihood. And this is the Nazis' ticket out of, they say it straight up, we're facing a firing squad when we get back. Because they don't say it, but if you look at their uniforms, they're the SS.
I noticed that,
they're not just German soldiers. They were the SS.
Yeah.
So yes, they were up for firing squad when they got back. That's the worst of the atrocities that they say they were doing. So I like that they didn't just go, hey, look, they're part of the SS. It was little slight pauses from the camera on a close-up, and it's right on the lapels. And I caught it. I think it was like the second or third. And I went, oh, shit, those are actually like legit SS officers. And that's why they were facing, being in a firing squad or being hung or, however they were going to be dispatched of. So it gives them a reason to get out. And, the captain, sergeant, whatever he is got everyone else going, look, we got to get this gold. We all get out if we go and get this. So we're going to disregard orders because we called it in and, got told, don't fuck with him. You're in trouble if you fuck with him. And then they have to learn their lesson that this man literally gets blown up by a landmine. Granted, the horse takes the brunt of it, unfortunately. And I never like seeing animals die in a thing, but good God.
That was spectacular.
Dude, he went spinning.
pieces and parts of horse meat
There's
everywhere.
horses. It's glue now. There is glue on the road. That's how badly this horse got blowed up. But man, he takes that moment and says goodbye to the horse. Like he feels bad that
This
it
is buddy.
happens. It was, I mean, it's his only, him and the dog are the companions to him out here. And doing this landmine scene was just something that I was never expecting. I don't think I could have even thought to write this action sequence of them watching him pick up the gold that's scattered. Because you got to think in his mind, he's like, why would I send my guys out in the landmines to pick up this gold? Let him do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. So he's just waiting. Then we'll get him. He throws that rock right on a landmine.
He sees it sticking up, exposed.
Not really to kill anyone, but it causes a
Screen.
dust cloud.
Yep.
This
Diversion.
huge smoke
And he does
cloud.
it to a couple of landmines around and just sends, like you said, sends up this smoke storm. You can't see anything. It's this thick dust.
Yeah.
It doesn't settle quickly.
No, it lingers. There's like no wind or whatsoever. And they just start firing like Predator style. Indiscriminately. And that camera cuts to like, how is he not getting hit? And my dude turned into Captain fucking America. And he is holding up that pan, that gold pan in front of his face. And there's
So
bullets.
dope.
Ting, 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 ting. And I'm just first time watch going, what am I watching? This is
so fucking badass.
This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Somehow he topped Captain America, and I don't know how that's possible. But he doesn't. It just, and he gets away from them, and they send a couple of guys out into the landmines, and they blow the fuck up. And it's just, now the movie just starts.
The best one is when they send some guy, and he stops before he gets to the smoke, and he looks up in the air.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And the Immortal has thrown a landmine way up high in the air. This thing comes down on this dude's head. I lost it. I absolutely lost it. I don't know why that tickled my funny bone so right, but geez.
Because you're not expecting it.
No.
You're not expecting him to pick up a landmine.
It's beautiful silence. This whole movie plays this like this. There's so very little music and so very little dialogue. It's quiet for as many explosions and guns that go off and airplanes flying over. The movie is very quiet. It's eerie at a lot of times.
It sets a good tone, a mood, and
it was bone quiet. Is that an expression? It was dead silent.
Dead silent, stone quiet.
There was nothing going on, but you hear a little bit of this, the wind going.
Oh yeah, the sound design.
This is landmine out of nowhere.
It's so good. And this movie's shot beautifully. The cinematography, like the landscape shots that this movie opens with, the way they film the action sequences, this guy knew what he was doing. Like this is well done movie making. Right,
it's kind of like you just kind of fall into it. It's like filming Dances with Wolves. Yeah, but when you're in the American plains, you can't help but to film beautiful things.
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta get around the roads and the telephone poles and things like that.
You gotta find places we haven't touched yet. Basically, it happens. There's a reason we go to New Zealand to film some fantasy shit.
Yeah,
it's the only place that's not touched yet. But this is also filmed in Finland. Like this is they filmed it there, so this is 100%. Their movie
on the DVD. They were doing interviews with the cast, and they're just like, "Hey, tell us about your character." And there's the Immortal standing in front of this glass smooth lake with this green mountain behind him and these rolling plains. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, that's they're not even trying at this point to film something beautiful, and
it's just there.
It's just there.
Look out the window, sir.
Right.
There you go. That's exactly why we're out here filming this. But yeah, since you had said that, I wanted to make sure we got that this movie unlike some action movies I've grown up with, this was shot really well, and it's very beautiful.
Oh,
It's not the same alleyway 27 times that the car chase runs down around.
okay. Run to the left. Run to the right. Run to the north. Run to the south.
I'm listening to a new podcast that just started. It's the PM Entertainment podcast about PM Entertainment movies, which are notorious action movies for low budget but fun. And they make jokes about the 30-mile pier. That there's a movie that they're going down this pier, and it's, if you actually drove it, it would have to be 30 miles for how long the scene takes on the movie. And it just
I love that so much.
like no less than 24 people get knocked off the pier into the water in one sequence in this movie. So shout out to the PM Entertainment podcast. You guys need to be listening to that. One episode's out so far. That's how new it is. But
wow,
this guy does awesome
on the ground
stuff.
floor, folks.
And interviews with the guys from PM. Kudos to this guy. I've shared his stuff on Instagram, so if you're following me, you'll see him over there. But yeah, so this is our first, like, he gets away from the Nazis. So this is the moment where it's kind of like the chase, which you're thinking, well, they should catch him. He doesn't have his horse anymore. You know, he's on foot. He's beaten feet, but they still have to worry about the rest of the mines. Cause I love this line.
And how many mines did you lay?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them. It's like, there's not a number. It's however many we had, because I wasn't carrying that shit anymore. So yeah, they pull the two girls, and our Sisu girl volunteers for the one, because she's like, she's not going to be able to do it. I'll go out there.
I think hidden landmines are still kind of a problem to this day, aren't they?
Hidden landmines are a huge problem, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, depending on where you're at. Yeah,
they are. I forget exactly where. There's still places that are finding them, deactivating them. They're still finding World War II unexploded ordnance from time to time.
Yeah, I think I just read something in England somewhere.
Yep.
There was a farmer tilling the soil, and tink. Luckily, it didn't explode, but it's like that didn't sound like a rock. I think they dug it up and like, oh shit.
There's that one, and I think it's either that same one or the one I'm thinking of. They were like, they're under construction for something, and they found one as they were excavating or something, and it shut down like this entire part of the town till they could get it out.
It's a big boom.
Yeah, I mean, there's no like expiration date on that stuff.
Now I have something else to be afraid of, y'all.
Not around here.
Let me add to your
in my luck. Yeah, I'll step.
Let me add to your fear of water. You know, Godzilla -1 had all of those mines in Tokyo Bay. So
I haven't watched Godzilla 1 yet. I know. I'm not. I'm gonna break your heart when I say this, but I'm not the biggest Godzilla fan.
But I also the biggest.
I also have not just sat down and like watched them all either. So I need
to watch them all. We'll just watch this one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Literally just this one. Just watch this one.
Have you seen Hot Fuzz?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So you know the old man with all the weapons and the mine in his thing, where he's like, "Nah, it's junk," and he hits it and it starts ticking. That's a joke on that shit. Still is live.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Nah, it's junk. Crack. Tick, 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 tick. I love that scene in that movie. Y'all forgive me. I'm fighting something, so I sound horrible tonight. But there was no way I was not going to talk about Sisu whatsoever. So if you hear me breaking up or mute completely out from a cough, that's me.
Yeah, Sisu somehow found. Yeah, he beat feet. He found his way through the landmines. I just deal with it.
He finally comes across that the last town that they kind of burned down. It was still on fire. I was like, man,
it was still smoldering. Yeah, it was still literally on fire, like you were saying, Anna.
Yeah.
But the Nazis are following him, and they're all like, I'm not going through that minefield. I'm not going through that minefield.
Pussies,
so
yeah.
What do they do to cross the minefield? They take a couple of their spoils of war, two of the women that they've been abusing, tie them at rope's length. That's the exact length or distance between the treads of the tank.
Yep.
And they march them down there, and the tank follows them, following their exact footsteps. through there. These guys are awful people.
Oh, they're
And,
pieces of shit. They are
Yeah.
So this is
the
where
worst of the worst.
This is also where the lead gal. I did she have a name in the film?
No, the lead gal, I said it earlier. It starts with an
you said.
A.
Oh, I thought that was her real name.
No, her real name is Mimosa Willamo.
I wish my name was Mimosa.
Yeah, I bet you do.
That's your nickname
But,
on the weekends.
It's
Weekend mornings, I'll have you know.
AINO.
11 a.m.
AINO, Aino or something like that.
Aino, okay.
Aino.
Well,
They don't say names a whole lot.
she's
No, they
kind of
don't.
been a badass in the back of the truck. She's been sitting there very stoically, very Sisu like in the back seat the whole time, or in the
Observing.
back of this truck, along with another maybe 10 other women.
Yeah,
that have
there's
been
I'd say there's
abused.
6 or 8, something like that.
Yeah. And when she gets tied up, she even volunteers. She's like, "No, I'll do it."
Yeah.
Because I think part of it is her stoicism, her sisu, and part of it is I don't give a fuck no more.
Yeah, if I die, I die.
If I die,
He's-
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll take some of these assholes with me.
Yeah.
It's also a less painful death.
Than the slow abuse that she's
Yeah.
taking. Yeah,
For
I agree.
sure.
When you step on a landmine, you're not
Boom.
feeling it.
That's
you're
it.
you're gone.
Yeah, you're done. So I think
so-
there's a lot of layers to her volunteering feat. I
mhm.
agree.
But as she's walking, so the two girls are walking tied up, and the one gal is just doubled over in tears, and she doesn't want to step on a mine, and she
Terrified.
as you should be. I mean,
Yeah.
I would be.
I am not throwing stones here.
I'm a tough dude. I'm not gonna be
I don't
happy
wanna walk through a
walking through a landmine.
Don't be happy.
But the other gal, Imhotep, what's her name? Imhotep.
Call her Sisu, Pete.
Wrong
Sisu,
movie.
Lord,
Set? No, that's sexist, isn't it?
that's very sexist, Pete. How dare you, sir?
Just say Lady Sisu. There we go.
But she
Yeah, like Lady Deadpool,
Lady
Sisu.
Deadpool, Lady Sisu. Sure.
I like it.
So she is full Lady Sisu at this point, because she is just head high, eyes straight ahead, 1,000-yard stare, confident in her steps, and it's at that point you go, "Oh my god, this gal is as badass as Mansu." And Lady Sue is just as badass as Mansu.
Mm-hmm.
She has a.
I'm trying, guys. I can't remember names.
It's like he's trying to make up Nateisms, and it's not Nate. I don't know what.
I'm not nearly as funny or cute as
Just
Nate.
say vacation 27 times. That's all I know.
I want to ask you a question about espresso.
Yeah. But she has a very you're not gonna break me
Oh yeah,
attitude.
Because I've already
towards
been
this.
broken. Like
Yeah,
you can't break me any more than I already am. So like what
That's
can
great,
you
Anna.
really do to me
Mhm.
other than kill me?
Right.
Because I don't give a fuck at this point.
Because you have to look at it as they've probably killed her family, everyone around her, her
In
entire
front of her.
town, which is another thing. That's another
Killed
reason
the mom,
why.
raped the pa. Yeah.
She's probably had to see the other women get raped as well that she's with, you know.
Oh yeah,
vice
there's no
versa.
privacy screens
Oh.
in the back of that truck.
He did that
Facts.
in that truck.
Yeah.
I mean, the truck's going down the road. He did that,
Shoot.
and they all had to watch.
Man, that's a bumpy hump. I mean, ow.
Oh, Pete, come on,
Someone's
Pete.
getting bruises.
Pete, no. Let's have
that-
some decorum,
Is that
sir.
too far? A bumpy
I
hump.
think so. No.
wanna win?
No.
Well, you got it right after this.
Bumpy hump. The fuck?
Do you
Oh,
like
I
horror movies?
can't.
Do you like hanging out with your buddy?
Do you like cracking jokes and having a good time?
Do you just like fun?
Well, consider checking out Spoils of Horror. We are an hour-long podcast that comes out every single week.
We're not doing reviews. We're just going to hang out, talk about the movies we love with each other, and hopefully the ones you love too.
Covering everything from the popular, the lost, the forgotten, and the bizarre.
If you're looking for a good podcast and a good time, you're going to want to check us out.
We're on all major podcasting platforms, and you can find us on Instagram and Twitter.
Check it out. We'll see you there.
Guys, we've been doing this thing for a while, and I think it's about time we make a trailer.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Let's get this thing. All right, ready? All right, what's going on, everybody? We are Dissect That Film. I am Brett.
I'm Dan.
I'm Angela.
And we... Oh, wait, guys. I have an even better idea. What if we had somebody with an epic voice sell our show in a way that our show actually isn't? What do you say?
Yeah.
Sounds perfect.
All right, let's go. Let it rip.
Your host, Parker, Dan, and Angela slice and dice their way through the good.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
The bad.
You brought the devil! There's a devil inside everyone.
And the ugly movies you love.
And you can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it!
Hold your favorite films and franchises tight, because they aren't safe. In fact, it's already too late. It's time to dissect that film.
I wish our show is what that guy just said, but you know what? If you want to listen to our awesome show, Dissect That Film, you can listen to us on YouTube and on your favorite podcast apps every single Friday, where we talk about all the wonderful films, good, bad, or ugly, as that epic dude said back there. So until next time, I'm Brett.
I'm Dan.
I'm Angela.
And we'll see you all again next time.
I didn't come here to talk. Lucky for you, they did.
All right, Pete and Anna are both on probation now, and I'm running this show solo. So yeah, welcome back to the one-man show. Give me back my action movies. I can't trust either of these two right now.
Spiral Squad, chicken in.
It's a good thing I mute everyone during the commercials. That's all right.
Darn it.
We get in lots of trouble. Yes.
Yeah. No more. Stop. There. Gone far enough. All right. We're falling into walking through the movie when this really should just be like, hey, guess what Sisu does next? Even though I know it's not Sisu.
It's an and then movie.
It's a very
and then movie.
In a good way, though, not in a bad way.
They catch up to him. He hides under one of the trucks, douses himself with gas so that the dogs can't smell him.
Smart.
But he has to roll out from under the truck because they're going to catch him. They still catch him, send the dogs on him, and he just stares at the dogs, holds out a match in front of himself, and lights himself on fire.
On fire.
What is he doing?
The dog's like, fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It runs the other way.
Dogs are like, this is above my pay grade.
For a moment, I
dog's
thought,
like,
well, some dog's
that
going to die. I thought a dog was going to die, but they were like, that dog's like, nah, fam.
Nah.
I ain't
I'm
into
out.
this right that much, okay? I am not hailing anyone. I'm out.
9.
We're getting real close to one of my favorite spots, though. So go ahead.
He's on fire.
He's on fire. What's he gonna do?
And you're like, what's your plan, sir? They're on fire next to a lake.
Yeah.
Like, of course he's next to a lake.
Cheater.
He runs.
Still cool, though. Got the dogs off of it.
It's amazing.
Oh, no.
I loved it. He jumps in that lake. They are firing at him. There's bullets flying through the water.
He uses the gold to weigh himself down in the river. That right there shows you how heavy it was if you didn't believe it at the start. And he's just like, and that shot of the lake too, him just holding there like real stoic once
like
again.
a
and
sea
steady.
lion just hanging out at the bottom of a kelp bed. Like
what I loved again for the cinematography was the underwater shots are amazing.
Yeah,
they were definitely underwater, but it was
100%.
lit so well. And the lake was beautifully clear.
It was great. It looks good.
Lake was clear.
Scary, but good.
I love when he first jumps in the water that they show all the aeration of the water and the bubbles coming up off of him from all the different places. Like you wouldn't just jump in water and nothing shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you have this
your
water.
Pockets have water. Your socks have water.
Everything has
your
water
butt
in
has
it.
Water.
Your
air.
You might jump in the water and a fart just comes out. You can't
It
help
happens.
that.
It happens. You
Don't
ever been in a
suck that-
bathtub and that?
Don't suck that bubble.
Yeah, shoot.
Hey,
But-
if you need air, well,
No,
that's
you-
not the right
that's
kind
not-
of
that's not
the right kind
air,
of
sir.
So that's what he did to that one guy, right?
Uh-huh.
Because
Yeah.
they eventually
That's
come in after him because the head guy's like, "Go in."
Go in after him.
These guys under this sergeant, colonel, whatever you want to call him, they are terrified of this man. They're like,
They're
"We're
more afraid of
right."
him than dying.
Yeah, and he's
What?
sending them in the water. He cuts one guy's neck and breathes in it. I was like, "What? This guy is a badass." I think that at that point is when I went in the Slack and was like, "This movie kicks so much ass."
Because he pops up briefly to get a breath of air before they get down in there, but then he cuts 2 Nazis' throats underwater. And I love the second one. We don't need to see that scene again. So you get it from the one guy left in the boat's perspective. And it's like Jaws. Just this blood comes up to the surface and giant bubbles.
A plume of bubbles and blood, yeah.
And this guy's like, fuck it. Puts his helmet on because he's like, they're going to shoot at me, and tries to row to the other end of the lake. And that's exactly like, you're a deserter, death. And they shoot him.
But
yes,
the boat keeps moving in the correct direction.
So
the
smart.
immortal grabbed the anchor line, and he's walking to the other end, and you're kind of like, why do you need the boat? You're in the water. When he gets to the other side, he puts the dead body on his back as armor and runs up the hill as they are pelting bullets. And the one dude, his name is Wolf. Again, they never say his name. The fat pudgy dude that,
Second in
is
command.
second in command.
Yeah,
the super
sniper.
maniac. That guy.
But he was a
He
sniper.
literally goes, fuck it, walks over to the tank and gets on the Top Gun, the
turret,
full on
the
like
M50
50
or whatever,
50
50
cal, whatever caliber it was back then, and he unloads on that hillside. Number 2 of Charlie's like, those
I think that
bullets
50 cal would have
go-
gone through that body pretty
Those go
fast.
through multiple bodies.
Not just one.
You need about 5 or 6. One of them at least with body armor on your back before it's not going to go through. But I don't care.
Mythbusters went through 2 phone books with a 50 cal. It's like,
yeah,
body's
so-
softer than that.
Oh yeah.
So much stuff. Yeah. But no, I love it. And it's just bullets flying. And now he has gained even more space between him and the Nazis because they got to figure out.
They have to find a boat.
It ain't a little lake. They got to get on a boat. And I did like this. They get on a boat. You don't see the tank again. So it's not like they found a bridge to get across, because the next scene is the gas station scene where, he's been shot, blown up.
Yeah.
He's digging shrapnel out of his body.
Oh,
Caught
it was
himself
so
on
gory.
fire.
Now,
Caught himself
Anna,
on
your
fire.
dad doesn't like gore, but I thought that was real gory as he's digging shrapnel out of his calf or ankle or whatever.
Yeah,
Did-
he'll
was your
watch
dad
it.
cool with that?
He'll watch it in like war movies and stuff.
Okay,
Like if he's
okay.
watching somebody hack somebody up in a horror movie, he's gonna be like, "Bah, I don't want to watch this," kind
Okay,
of thing.
all right.
But
I
when it
kind of
comes
wish he
to-
hadn't seen it already. I really wish that it would have been
Oh, that
both
would've
of
been so much
yours
fun to see it
first
with your
time
dad, yeah.
watch. That
Mhm.
would have been. I think it would have been a lot more like energy from your dad to actually see how he reacted for
Yeah.
the first time.
Right.
Being like, "Whoa, what's that? Whoa, what's going on?" It
Yeah.
would look like
I
me
came,
the entire time.
I came in the living room when it was over and I was making me a drink. He was like, "You watching that movie?" I said, "I just finished it. Man, that was damn good." And he was like, "Yeah, they fucked with the wrong guy, didn't they?" I was like, "Hell yeah, they did. Hell yeah, they did."
Oh, Father, you have a way with words. I love you.
That should have been on the movie poster, sir. They fucked with the wrong guy.
Nailed
Now-
it, yeah.
This scene where he is right now at the gas station is one of the most uncomfortable scenes.
Oh my god, dude.
I have been around in a long time. Like this makes me.
This is
just
worse than
my butt is puckering, and I'm just like looking
This-
through my fingers because
worse than any horror movie. I
Oh.
can handle gory crap, but you start doing that stupid pimple popper shit on TV. No, I'm fucking out. I'm out. This is up there with pimple popper
Mhm.
because the dude, he's immortal, but he has to rest, and he does rest. And fucking Nazis find him.
Yeah,
They're there, and
they don't really find him. They just happen to run into him because they're
there's
gassing
not
up too, right?
There's no gas at this gas. No, this is the sergeant and the
God damn
Wolf.
it. Yes.
Yeah, they hang him first.
You're right.
And
Yep,
more
that's
show up
right,
the
that's
next
right.
day.
Okay, so
you have the tank driver,
Mm-hmm.
the sergeant, and the captain all right there, and they beat the shit out of him, knock him out. You get a nice PvP shot of him waking up and that noose flying down. Like, oh shit, we know what's about to happen. They're gonna hang him.
How?
He's on his back and the camera's shooting straight up.
It's shooting
and you
straight
see
up.
The Nazi captain talking to him, and you see behind him the noose go over.
Again, great
a sign
shots.
What a
Yeah,
shot, man.
I
It's
loved it.
What's that called? A Dutch angle or
I
something?
loved
A Finnish angle.
That's fair. That's fair.
I loved that shot earlier in the movie too, when we get the 4 telephone poles from way back, and we get to
people
see
hanging, yep.
the bodies hanging
Yeah.
on the telephone poles. So I loved that, and then we get to see it happen in real time with him. But my question is, how did that man survive that? Out of
That's a
all
great question.
things.
Mhm.
Like, how? That was one I was like, God damn, like he was hanging up overnight. Not
Well,
just
that's the cringe part is
when he sticks his ankle in that damn thing to give him some pressure, like to give him some leeway.
that took just enough off of the rope so he could he's barely breathing oxygen. But when he steps up on that one bolt that's sticking out, that took just a little bit of pressure off. But then that rebar that he drops his wound, it's either in his knee or wherever on his leg. I forget where it was. It wasn't far from where it was.
Yeah, it looked like
but
his ankle.
That way he's caught on it. It's no longer him trying to hold himself up. That piece of metal in his flesh is holding him just enough. Like, I'm sure he's in and out of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the shot of the airplane coming through. Now the airplane is looking for fuel.
That was a brilliant transition to explain like how we get him down when he's literally about to die. He doesn't have much longer left, I don't feel like.
Yeah.
And that plane comes by and just enough pressure to wiggle that sign. I loved it. It worked so well.
This is the ultimate and then.
Yeah.
This is because I'm with you, Anna. The first time I watch it, you're just like, okay, how are you getting him out of it now? I know now he's not going to die, but this looks like something would kill anyone else.
It would kill everybody else,
Period.
I think every true badass is also a lucky motherfucker.
Oh, 100%.
They have to have some bit of luck, yeah, no doubt.
Like James Bond was famous for his lucky motherfucker. He was a badass too, but
you were trained, but there's a lot of luck.
But there's a lot of luck going on. What's happening? And it would be a shorter movie if these things didn't happen.
I think I think luck is part of it, but I also just think that not having any fear. Like he had no fear, nothing left to fear. And when you have nothing left to fear, you're truly free. Isn't it that Fight Club quote or something?
Yeah.
It's applied right here.
When you look at it and go, yeah, that's going to hurt to do what I'm about to do. But the alternative is death.
Yeah. So this is going to buy me some time for my luck to kick in or something.
Yeah. And if I die, I die, but I got to try.
Yeah, at least try. Yeah.
And that airplane lands. And then again, more Nazis getting out. They're trying to fuel up. The dog shows back up because they tried to kill the dog by putting a grenade on him to save the dog. But Sisu is able to that rope just starts sliding off of the sign from the vibrations.
That was brilliant.
And he falls. And this guy's a pilot. He's not really a trained soldier. Sisu takes advantage of it, man, and just I'm to the point now. I'm just calling him Sisu. I'm tired of saying the immortal. But he fully just takes him out, and the other guy's like, "Whoa,
shoot the dog!"
Yeah,
because the dog's still barking.
Why is the dog still barking? What's going on? And he gets fucking knocked the fuck out. Like Sisu doesn't even shoot him.
Doesn't die, but he knocks him the fuck
out. And he bandages himself up, which I love. Love a good Rambo moment. Kind of field dress everything.
Oh, this is the scene that I don't say bothered me, but made me because he's pulling out.
Oh, he's pulling out the pieces,
the shrapnel.
Everything that has happened.
Two things. So the other part is he bends rusty knives or rusty nails into a suture, and he
stitches himself up.
He stitches himself up. But did you notice when he took off his shirt, there was a Y cut into his chest, as if he had been given an autopsy at one time?
I saw that.
Yeah, from his collarbones
noticed
to his
that.
sternum to his belly button. That's an autopsy.
When he's digging the gold, they show a lot. Whenever
Yeah,
he's
you're
taking
right. That's
that
right, Charlie,
bath.
at the very beginning. Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's a good connection.
It's that leads more credence to his immortality, so to speak, or his refusal to die. Because at one time
they thought he
was
dead.
open up. He was dead.
That's crazy.
And
That's
they
a
had to
good
stitch his
point,
ass
dude.
back up. But I love this transition though. This is probably one of my favorites. Is he has the pilot? He looks after he pours gasoline on the wound too, Pete. He not only stitches himself,
Yeah,
but he
he
pours
sure
gasoline.
did. Oh, I have this written down. is where was it? Shit, where is it? It's not nearly as funny as this pause is.
No one will hear the pause.
Oh, is gasoline really a sanitizer?
If it's all you got, it's
It
all you
works.
got.
I guess it's clean.
Hey, Rambo
Cleaner
used
than what you got.
Rambo used gunpowder.
Oh,
So
well, he did this too, didn't he? Didn't he light something of himself on fire? Didn't he do that also in this movie?
well, he lit his whole self on fire earlier in the
Yes,
movie.
yes, I do remember that.
He was completely in flames, so he's 100% clean. So
I thought there was a
Fire
scene where
clean.
he like threw some gasoline in there and lit it on fire.
I don't
just
think
to-
he lit it on fire on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a Rambo moment.
And but this pilot is watching him do this.
The pilot's watching him do this,
wetting and shitting himself.
I love this though, because all we see is Sisu look at the pilot and then look at the plane, and then it cuts to the Nazis. So you have no idea what's going on, and you get the Nazis are cruising down the road. They think they've killed Sisu. Like, yeah, we're badasses. We also get a quick shot of the captain on the radio and kind of nodding to his second in command and the tank driver. And then they start talking like, okay, but what about the other guys? They're like, they're just going to keep going. Let them just keep going.
The plan.
We're going to
is-
break off.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's already set up.
And the Nazis have the gold at this point, right?
Yeah, they have the gold.
Yeah,
they have
that's right,
everything.
that's
They have
right.
taken it all. They left that one piece with Sisu, which is what made Sisu get pissed off and dig it
Mhm.
back up again. But
cocksuckers.
I love this. They didn't need to have the plane do a flyover. They didn't need to do something in your face.
Just the aftermath.
The aftermath.
Yeah.
The trucks all stop because there is a plane wreckage in the road. So when you're watching it the first time, you're like, well, it's war. There's probably a plane.
yeah,
but
yeah,
we're also in the back of our heads going, isn't Sisu going to take a plane?
It's
And they
definitely a
get up-
Nazi plane. Yeah.
It's definitely a Nazi plane. And they get up there and it's a dead pilot. Not dead because of the crash, but because Sisu hung that motherfucker with the same rope they hung him.
He said, "This is
And
my
that-
rope."
It's
That
my rope.
guy saw a fucking ghost because he's like, that's my rope.
The look on
I-
their faces was everything.
The other guy's like, there's
Wasn't it,
no
though?
way. And he's like, I know my rope.
I know
Yeah.
my rope.
Probably
Probably made it himself. Or
Probably.
how,
yeah.
how many women did he tie up, and how many
Ooh,
Right,
people
yeah.
did he hang with it?
Nasty
I bet that
fuck.
was. I bet he used that for special occasions, and Sisu was one of these occasions, and he had been intimate with that rope.
Stop it. We want to get on probation and get
The
double
end of
secret
the-
probation.
What's the thing about the end of the rope? Isn't that wiping your?
It's
butt
where
on a-
you're at. You're at the end of your rope right now. Knock it off. So no, now we get they're scared.
Yeah.
And it's let's beat feet. Let's get out of here. And Sisu's already integrated into it.
When
is
he hooks up with these women, not in that way, but when
Oh.
he links up with them,
right?
And he's not before Lady Sisu gives that badass monologue about how they've heard of this man and everything he's gone through. This is a legend. Then he pops in the back of the truck and they're dead. He kills the 2 guys that are back there with them. I'm surprised, honestly, that they let her talk as much shit as she did for as long as she did. I think it just goes to show how scared they were. Exactly. They were willing to listen to what she had to say because she obviously had knowledge about it.
The longer she talked, the more afraid they became, and the more they went, oh yeah, he kind of did. Oh yeah, he is hard to kill. Oh yeah, is he? And then this one guy gets stabbed in the back out of nowhere.
And not only that,
like, you okay? You all right?
And he falls over. Like, nope, he's not all right. No, he's dead. But then Sisu comes in with guns for all the women. And he doesn't look down on them in any kind of way. He knows
they're in this boat together.
They're in the same situation and they're going to help each other get out of this. So he arms every woman there. And when they pull that truck up to the other truck with all the Nazis sitting on top and they flip that fucking tarp back and all the women unload on them, I stood up and fucking cheered. I was like, yes!
I'm risking probation, but that shot was nigh orgasmic.
It was. I have to agree, Pete.
Flew up there and they just unloaded like,
and you see their bodies.
So satisfying. Oh my God.
So good.
This was so well done that they were actually able in this movie to even add a moment of levity, because Sisu takes out that driver basically trying to stab through the top of the cab.
He was like,
finally gets him in the head, puts the girl in the truck. So she's driving it now. And he's needing her to like speed up and slow down, and she fucking slams the brake, and that tank barrel comes through the back of the truck, laughing my ass off. And he runs and gets on it, and she takes off. But when she gets next to that other driver,
and she's like,
and she nods and kind of waves at him, and then they unload. It is
so good,
glorious. Also, every time they killed a Nazi and threw him off the back of the truck and the tank ran over him, the guys on the motorcycle in the back going, "Is that one of ours?"
Oh my God.
Was that so?
It's a little horrifying that as they're driving by on a bike, they're like, is that one of ours or is that somebody else? Because they probably
you don't know
all the damn time.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of
and
fresh.
These bodies are falling off, getting crushed by this tank, and it's foul. Like, exactly, Anna. This body is mangled beyond belief. It's such a good practical effect.
It is so good.
There's a tire tread in the middle of this person's chest.
Yes.
There's a moment when to go back 1 second, because this was another moment that embodied that Sisu moment for her.
Yeah.
Is when Sisu kills those 2 Nazis. I don't think at one point he ever knew the girls were in there, because he would have never known they were there, because he never sees inside the truck. He's always running and running. And I feel like if he had known they were there, he would have done something more than just
very early on, as he's riding his horse, one of the girls' heads had popped out.
They do the real.
Yeah, I feel like he did
real
see
quick.
He saw that, so I'm pretty sure he knew probably what was going on in there.
At least 1, maybe 2, but I don't feel like he knew there was,
but
because
he had
it was
for every one of them.
Well, what it was is he got in there and she was reaching for the gun laying on the ground. When he reaches down at the same time to pick it up, because he grabs it first, and then he looks at her, and she just kind of like, I know who. It was kind of like this. I know who you are.
You're the Babadook.
What's your plan? And he hands it to her, like, okay, this is a big thing. If you take it, this is what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then that moment of he armed them all is like, okay, you all are in this now. You know, like you want your freedom. I will give you the opportunity to get your freedom. I feel like because to me, if he had known the severity of how many women were in there or what everything was going on, he would have intervened and not been running as much. It wouldn't have been just the gold or getting his gold back. It would have been, I got to help him. So there's a bit of, it can be taken both ways, I think, but I look at it as he saw a moment and he's like, I got my own little army here now all of a sudden. And can y'all find, here's how you get it real quick. Pull this, point it, pull.
Same way they train the Nazis. Point and shoot, baby. That's all you got to do.
Point and shoot.
Mutual beneficial.
Don't stand behind one another.
There we go.
And just stand all along this side. But it is an amazing, amazing shot. But again, it's that dialogue with no dialogue. So much was said between Sisu and her without ever saying a word. And they totally understood each other. And not even having to tell her what he needed to do when he was driving. He was like, patting his arm down, like, slow down. And she slams on the brakes.
And then he looks up at her and she's like sorry, like that moment, like, I'm sorry.
Oops. Kind of like one of those things, like, I don't think she's ever driven before, but she's running in gears like a pro all the way through there. But yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that because, again, this movie's about a lot of moments, a lot of just visual storytelling.
Every one of these 15-minute-ish chapters in this movie is a moment. Every one has something memorable in it.
It is. And then you get him on top of a tank with a pickaxe trying to hack
you do
into the tank hatch, which is awesome because inside of a tank it is echoing and all they hear is that tang, tang, tang on the top. And he's like, all right, I'm done. I'm taking him out. They go at it. Him and the second in command get into fights and get knocked off the tank. Captain thinks he's home free. That dude's gone. He beats the shit out of that dude, ready to kill him. But
he becomes a blubbering baby man.
When those girls walk up in a line with all their weapons, like the music playing, the smoke.
The setup is so good because he's got this awful psychopath. This guy is clearly the worst of the worst. And he becomes this blubbering, please don't kill me. I'm so sorry.
Just a straight up pussy.
Pussy. Yeah. And Misu just looks at him. And that motorcycle drives up.
This is my part.
Go. You do this, Charlie.
This is the epitome of Charlie watching an action movie, and he is fighting this guy, and he has the upper hand on him. And that motorcycle, we've seen that. It's like, who is that? Do we know him? We don't know him. Right. They roll up. The sidecar has a giant fucking gun on the side. The other guy has a machine gun. They roll up like, oh shit, it's him that they've told us about. Sisu doesn't pick up a gun. He only has a pickaxe in his hand. He is standing over top of the other German guy. He looks up at these two motorcycles and he goes and growls at them. They get off the motorcycle, throw their weapons down, and run away.
Like they throw their weapons away. They get off this, go, whoop.
This man scared armed Nazis away by growling at them.
This.
Only holding a pickaxe. It's goosebumps, man. I love
right there with you, man.
This whole thing. The girls, yes, are badass, but he growled at two grown-ass men with machine guns, and they beat feet the other direction. It's like straight out of Looney Tunes. It's so fucking funny. I love it.
It's a mouse roaring like a lion, and all the cats run away.
And then he gets a motorcycle, so now he can catch up to the tank.
And
then, I like what Anna was going towards. So Sisu he's got this second in command at his mercy, and he basically just kind of pats him on the head, hops on the motorcycle, and drives away. And this pussy is this awful man is just like, oh, I guess I'm okay now. I guess I can. And then Anna's scene from beyond the fog.
Those women
lined up.
In a chorus line.
Yes,
right?
chorus
looking
line.
like the fucking Avengers walking out of the smoke, like ready to kick ass. And so they take over. He's now their hostage. But what I love is the next time and the last time we see them with him is they have taken control of the tank and they have his ass what's the proper term? Like hogtied?
Hogtied to the barrel.
Hogtied to the barrel of said tank. They run into, I believe, British soldiers, like good soldiers.
I think it's Finnish. I think
Finnish soldiers. They're in Finland.
They speak Finnish back and forth.
Good soldiers who are not Nazis. They run into them, and they are shocked as shit. For one, they're like, "Where'd you get this tank?"
That looks
we found it.
Faces
and they're just their faces are priceless, and that's all we needed. Like that's all we needed to end kind of their whole arc in this movie. I thought it was brilliant.
It's a beautiful ending. And they're like, "Where's the rest of the Nazis?" It's the only one we got left.
Only one we got left. They're like, okay,
and he's
sounds
not,
good.
He's not
shit.
dead.
You could pass.
It's like the most emasculated way to treat him. Like death was too easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love
exactly.
That was my favorite part. Like there is no amount of suffering this man could possibly endure for it to be satisfying, except maybe to live with yourself the rest of your life.
I mean, unless you're going to, call some hard hitting brothers with some red hot pokers and go a little bit of Pulp Fiction. And
I was just thinking that. No, man, I'm fucking far from okay.
I'm far from okay. I'm about to go medieval on their ass. I had to rephrase it a little bit, but everyone knows the line.
Everybody knows it. Marcellus Wallace.
You're dancing around the language is tough to say.
I did it right though. I got the point across.
Us mid-aged white guys can't say things like that. But we can say just enough to get the reference.
Now, I bring up Looney Tunes earlier for a very specific reason.
Bring it on, baby.
The end of this movie is straight up fucking Looney Tunes. And I am here for it.
And then the ultimate is coming up.
He runs down an airplane that they have set up to take him, and it was supposed to be the second in command and the tank driver.
It was just the three of them.
But I think it was only ever supposed to be the one, maybe the second in command.
Yeah, that was his plan all along. When he turned around and shot him in the head, I was like, oh, man.
He shot that tank driver smack. I'm like, there was plenty of room, assholes.
Yeah.
That kid would have been happy with one piece of that gold.
Yeah, dude.
And you didn't need to do that. But that's also how shitty were the Nazis. Thank you.
Bingo. Why are we surprised?
Even worse.
Yeah.
But they get on this airplane. Sisu's running them down with a freaking.
Okay.
So we are straight up at what I call the Looney Tunes scene. We have Sisu heading charge towards an airplane on a motorcycle.
This scene is asinine.
Firing a gun, fires through the windshield of this airplane. Sure, which I'm like, that's going to suck eventually.
Clips the pilot.
Eventually.
We find out that he clips the pilot, but you see all the glass breaking. They take off, and we see the motorcycle keep going with no driver. They get up in the air, and the pilot, he's like, do you see anything? And he looks down, and he sees the motorcycle still rolling. Mm-hmm. And they're like, he's gone. We're good. We're in the clear. And that camera pans down, and that motherfucker has a pickaxe in the bottom of the airplane, hanging on for dear life. At this point, Pete, I don't give a shit.
I get it.
I am buckled in.
I get it.
Same.
I love and hate this all at the same time, because so far everything up to here has been plausible.
Somewhat plausible. This
is the only way to describe it is Looney Tunes.
But he's living up to his name, the Immortal Man. Yes, they're playing on that hard at this stage of the movie.
I'm immortal.
My God.
How are the bad guys going to get their comeuppance if he's not on the plane? He's on the plane.
He's on the plane.
Sisu on the motherfucking plane.
And then he takes out a can opener and
he tries to reposition himself, and he almost falls off the plane, catches the tail landing gear, and then punches holes. When he makes the first noise, the pilot goes, "It's an old plane. It makes noises."
It happens.
I live in an old house. It makes noises.
Yeah,
it might be the dog
totally
farting.
plausible.
It might be the house settling. I don't know.
but they hear multiple pieces of metal bending and creaking, and that
And they're starting to
Nazi-
look back more and more like.
And that captain goes back there in the back, and he is face to face with Sisu. Sisu literally climbs through the belly of an airplane and goes face to face, and it's now fisticuffs. And let me tell you, Captain can fight. I was expecting, to be a little bit more overpowered, but he's a better fighter than I expected. Sisu has been beat to shit.
Dude, he's been through it. He rode hard and put up with.
Yeah, if Sisu was at 100%, I don't think anybody has a chance.
But the poor man, the last time he tried to rest, he died pretty much. They found him and they killed him. So
that sleep when he was hung, best sleep he's had in years. That's the only sleep he got. We get a pretty good fight. They're using their environment. The Nazi guy grabs one of the straps. We see a bomb on the belly of the plane with bomb bays, and he wraps his hand up with that, strap with the metal. And I mean, he is beating the shit out of
face.
The Nazi captain is clearly winning.
I had flashes of Passion of the Christ. You remember the cat?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Where it's like pulling the flesh.
Opened up these giant gashes on Sisu's face.
It was
There's a flap of skin.
Yeah.
And
it's
I'm
great.
just
The makeup's amazing.
So good. But that moment, Sisu kind of gets a little bit of his bearings and realizes where he's at, and he's next to the lever for the bomb, but he doesn't grab it. That captain swings that thing back at him, and Sisu snatches it in midair, and just that hardened look comes back over his face like, you fucked up. Hooks it to the bomb and lets the lever out.
Dr. Strangelove all over it.
It's not even a second to react, and you're exactly right, Pete.
Gone. I was like,
what? He was only missing the cowboy hat, sir, as he was riding that thing.
There we go, boy. Wow.
I love when he's falling through the air, too. He's still yelling, fuck you.
Fuck you.
He's flipping the bird. Fuck you.
I was like, ha, sucks to suck. Fucking Nazi.
Giant explosion. He's dead. There's no coming away from it. Sisu breathes for a moment, except a bottle starts rolling forward down the plane.
Well, what does that mean,
He realizes that the plane is no longer
going down.
level.
It's going down.
It is nosing down. The pilot had been hit earlier
When he
and
was
had
shooting.
slowly been bleeding out the entire time and died. And Sisu, I like and don't like this. I think I'd have been more disbelief if Sisu knew how to fly a plane.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Try to pull up and
I like that he
hopscotch
looks for a
across,
parachute. This thing ain't got a fucking parachute.
Dude, he looked in every single box that said
Everyone.
parachute, and they were all gone.
Nothing. What kind of guy gets on a plane without parachutes, at least for yourself and your passenger?
Right?
That's just stupid.
I think this is probably the one part of this movie. Like, I mean, I've been able to suspend disbelief for the rest of it, but this one, I was like, how did this motherfucker survive?
Not liquefied, yeah.
And so what did he do? Just like strap him in? Like, was that the equivalent of being in a bathtub in a tornado? That's what happened.
There you go.
A refrigerator and a nuclear explosion. Yeah.
That's what it was.
So he straps himself in. Now, they sell it as in he doesn't crash into anything like a mountain.
It was a marsh, right?
Like a marsh, a bog.
That's why he gets out of the mud. Okay.
Yeah.
Softer.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's still like hitting cement.
This reference will go over Pete's head, Anna, because we had this conversation earlier. But if you ever watch a specific episode of King of the Hill, when Peggy goes skydiving,
oh my gosh, I remember that one.
Parachute doesn't open, but she lands in a swamp. So she, and it was a cliffhanger episode.
Yeah,
at
the end of the season. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she ends up like partially paralyzed, and she starts walking again, but she lands in a swamp because her parachute doesn't open.
Yeah.
I immediately start thinking that. And he climbs up. I mean, he is covered in the mud, the filth. He started off
gold, nice and clean.
He's reborn. He's reborn yet again.
Oh, Anna, yes. The phoenix rises from the ashes.
He's
my
God,
still rising.
Yes.
Oh, I missed that one.
But he comes out, gold satchels on his shoulder.
Yeah.
We get a
I
cut.
didn't lose that. Thank
He
God.
had those were on his back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had everything on. And then we get a cut to him on the motorcycle. So he went back and got it.
And the dog.
What else did he go back and get? He got the dog.
In
He
the
went and got his
sidecar of the
dog back.
motorcycle. I was like, oh, that's so cute.
That's the most
with
adorable
the
thing
gun.
ever.
The gun,
Only
yeah.
thing, I wish they'd have put the helmet on the dog.
Fight him.
I think that
Attack.
would have sent me if the dog had a little Nazi helmet on its head.
Well,
Just
he's
like-
probably realizing, well, the Nazis can't shoot worth a shit. Why do I need a helmet
Yeah, I
for?
know,
But he goes into a definitely a war-torn town city.
Yeah.
Like buildings are exploding, everything.
Yeah.
And
It had seen the ravages of war, but it had not
Yeah.
felt the effects of the scorched earth.
Yeah.
No,
So it was still a functioning city with
it felt like a
loads of
capital,
damage.
like
Yeah.
a capital city
Yep.
type thing.
Yeah.
He pulls up to this giant building, 2 guards out front that basically are like, I don't want to fuck it with him. Like
Yeah.
they don't know who he is, but they're like, I'm not.
Well, they
stopping
see
him
the
from coming in
guns
this
on
building.
on the bike too, and they're a little weary of that because they're armed as well.
Yes,
So
they should be.
put their guns on him, and they realize he's not got anything on him. He's not trying to shoot. Like,
Yeah.
okay, he's just a
He
little
puts his-
dirty.
Puts his satchels
A
on.
little. He's full
walks.
of blood and filth and
His face is cut up.
oh
He-
my god. Ugh.
He walks in this building, and there are like these guys in suits and nice coats and hats and very business oriented. And you start getting the feeling like, because it doesn't say bank on the front, it doesn't say anything, but you get that feeling of, okay, I
Yeah.
feel like he's in a bank. Then you see the teller, and it's one girl dead center. Like everyone is like partying the red ocean,
'Cause they're getting
the
the
Red
fuck away
Sea
from this guy.
from
Probably
him.
stinks too. Bless his heart.
That's what I said.
And
Right.
he walks up there and he throws these satchels onto the counter, and she's like, what is going on? What am I looking at? And we get the moment when Sisu finally talks, and he says it in Finnish, and it's translated, at least for us, which
Yeah.
not a lot of it is, but bills, big ones,
ones.
please. Won't be so damn heavy to carry.
And then it ends. I was like,
Done.
banger
out.
movie. Banger movie. You needed nothing else. You needed no more extra scenes. Nothing needed to be cut. It's
No
perfect.
twists in this one. Just
No.
point A to point B.
This is why I
Said
don't
and
need a
done.
sequel. This is
Right.
it's a perfect movie, and I
Right.
don't want a sequel. All right, well, let's get into the things.
Oh, jeez.
The things.
Yeah.
I feel like we went on a journey back through it.
And I think we did go on a journey. That was
I like it though.
It was good.
good.
I had a good time.
We don't walk through the movie very often, but since there isn't a lot of dialogue in it,
You kind of have to. Good
kinda had
point.
to.
Yeah, we kind of
Yeah.
had to a certain degree because of no dialogue.
And-
Good
and
point.
I had a good time walking through the movie.
Same.
Oh, I think
did
we all
too.
had it. We all had a really good time, except when Pete got on probation. All right, our kill
When
count,
am I
body
not on
count.
probation?
That's
You're
funny.
always on your permanent
I know
probation.
I
It was
am.
funny. It broke me.
Um,
Me too, broke.
I'm here for you.
You
Anna.
both are on probation. All right, our total kills in Sisu is 28.
Nice.
Which you got to think about it. It's just one company of Nazis.
That's 28 dead Nazis. It's better than none.
Better than none.
This is where I have to fuss at some people online. You don't count already dead bodies, so you do not count the finished people that are hanging in
That are
the.
hung.
They're hanging on the.
You don't count
power
the burnt one in the car. You don't talk about anything that's talked about previously. You don't count the cities
Yeah.
because the point of this movie is no one in this movie dies that isn't a Nazi.
Right.
Only Nazis die in this movie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Whole
Yep.
point.
Yep.
So it's 28 Nazis dead, even though the immortal literally dies like 3 times in
Probably,
this movie.
yeah.
I think
for
so.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's pick our favorite.
Have you ever killed anyone?
God, I got they were all bad.
It happens every week. Why do I
Yeah.
have a?
I don't know, but this is literally they were all bad. Yeah, because they were Nazis and they were all bad.
Fuck 'em.
Anna, let's start with you. What is your favorite kill of the week?
Well, it's got to be kills, and it's got to be when the girls flip open the tarp.
Yeah.
That was my girl power moment in a war movie full of men. That it didn't take anything away from the story. It didn't seem random. It fit perfectly in with what's already going on. And I literally got up and cheered. I yelled. I was like, hell yeah. Like they're getting to take their own revenge out on them too. And I really dug it. The reveal, everything was perfect.
Marvel, this is how you tell your audience that girls are badass.
Yeah.
Not at the end of, what was the last one with Thanos, where all of a sudden all of the girls are on the same side.
Endgame.
They're all happen to be at the same end of the battlefield, and they're all next to each other, and they're all in frame, and they're all doing their thing. That's forced. That is forced, and we don't want it.
Very true. At that point.
Yeah, this is how you make them badass.
And I also love too that they didn't have to show us the grape they didn't have to show any ugly scenes. We got enough of just with him zipping his zipper and her covering her skin up. Like we knew, like they didn't have to shove it in our face.
Right.
All you need.
And nothing, even though this is a war film, nothing in it is gratuitous. I feel like this is all very well done. A great amount of gore and violence that fits the story and doesn't overdo it, I don't think.
No, I 100% agree with you. I think they did this correctly. It's not as gritty as getting into things like Fury and, war movies that try to show you the horrors of war. Guess what? It's war. Of course there's horrors.
It's all horrible.
This one doesn't make it comical, but I guess tastefully is the best way to do it, is just be like, they're not shoving it in your face, but they can get the point across. And that's what it's glorious about that. They got the point across without beating us over our head with dialogue and
it was
treating us like we were dumb
and fantastical at the same time. And I'm not sure if I've seen too many war movies that have been able to walk that line.
Not many. I mean, the obvious are going to be like Inglourious Bastards and stuff like that. And even that gets a little bit more.
That's a good one. That one does. That one does what Sisu does.
They have more fun with
But
that one.
They change history too.
Way more fun.
Yeah.
With that, and Sisu isn't historical. It just happens to be set in
it's a what if scenario. But
Pete,
you're dragging it out here. But what is your favorite kill? Yeah, you're buying something. You're buying time.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm busting balls.
So the one the kill that got me strapped in is the one that Anna said earlier, the knife in the head.
Man.
That one buckled my seatbelt, but my favorite was the landmine that was was thrown up in the air and it hits the guy. I'm pretty sure when it hit his helmet, it went tink.
Yeah.
And then kaboom!
Yeah, tink.
It makes the sound. It's hilarious.
There's no real humor in this movie except a couple of, I think there's one Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And that just a little bit of humor, but nothing. No one's trying to tell a joke in this movie. And this is so fucking good. Anyway, I'm done. Charlie, you're up.
So yeah, I love every kill in this movie, but I gotta give it to the landmine. That landmine flying through the air. You're not ready for it.
No.
I love the knife to the head because that's what starts it. That lights the fuse.
Mm-hmm.
And technically my favorite scene isn't even a kill. He just fucking growls at two grown ass men and they run away, and it's my favorite scene. But that and it doesn't feel like a dummy, but it like the whole top part of his body just it erupts into blood. It's just bloosh.
Bloosh.
It looks like
the one where there was a leg flying through the air somewhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was body. I think it was supposed to be like, we just showed you a horse exploding and its body parts, but now a Nazi's exploding and now there's more body parts flying. So you get some redemption for the horse, I guess, is what you end up with. But no, I'm going to go with that. I don't think this is going to be difficult at all. Let's rank this bad boy.
Yeah. This is easy.
That's all the girls beating the shit out of the
Fuck yeah.
Goddamn right.
Get his ass.
And I think that's my favorite scene in the whole movie. Anna.
Oh yeah, that approach.
My favorite death is this, but my favorite scene is
Where'd you get the tank? I love it.
I found it.
Good. Yeah, I found it.
Yeah. All right, Anna, we'll start with you again. This is a first time watch for you. I am so relieved that you actually enjoyed this movie. So let's
Loved
see
it.
how you actually rank it.
It's a 10 all day long.
Oh,
I mean, I'm a sucker for a war movie. If it can suck me in and keep me intrigued, and I loved this from start to finish. The fact that it was, like I've said, an hour and a half really drew me in, but not a minute was wasted. I loved the story, the acting. I love when movies don't have to say a lot. Like, it can use shots and moments that between the characters where no words are spoken, that we can interpret it for ourselves. I love movies like that.
Right.
And y'all have got, Charlie, you've got to watch Rare Exports now, because I think you'll really
do.
like it. You'll really like it. But yeah, this is a 10. This is one I need to buy. I need to keep, and I will definitely watch again.
100%. All right. Pete, you got to follow that up, Bubba. What you ranking Sisu?
It's a negative thirst.
Get the fuck out.
Say what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit
It's
there.
a 10. This movie is amazing. This movie is legit amazing. I don't care for one-man army movies because they're usually jack-offs, like Seagal or somebody that has a little bit of skill.
I'm picking so many Seagal movies.
I just don't care for these kind of movies.
Can I laugh in your face?
Thank you. But this one felt different. This one felt more real because Sisu took damage, a lot of damage. But there was a story behind him. He was the immortal. He was he was the Babadook. He was the
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Thank you, Baba Yaga. He was that what goes bump in the dark. So yeah, it felt different, not necessarily supernatural, but maybe a little. I don't know,
a little bit
spiritual.
A little bit. And I really. Oh man, this just 10 done. 10. I'm done.
Fantastic.
Charlie, you hate this movie.
I hate this movie so much. I was a one-man campaign for this movie for what felt like a long time, just trying to get more and more people.
No one
to
had
watch
heard or seen it, man. It was hard to find.
It was hard to find, and it actually took me a while to even find the Blu-ray. I think my Walmart got like the DVD at first and didn't get the Blu-ray, and of course I couldn't find the Steelbook. Me and Nate both were searching everywhere for that Steelbook.
It's too pretty not to get it in at least Blu-ray.
Yeah, I 100%. This thing's so well shot that it's deserving of the higher, grade. It's a 10, man. This is Paramount, a perfect film. It's exactly what I want from current movies. You're not shitting on where action movies started. You're using what you learned from watching all of those and knowing your limits. This thing was filmed because of COVID-19. There was a bigger budget movie that they were supposed to be working on with way more production, but COVID hit and they had to scale back. So they wrote a quick and dirty story that worked with fewer people, fewer risk of, infections or anything like that. And they struck gold. I just wish someone would have been like, that movie's fucking awesome. Let's get it out for the people to see.
Yeah.
That's what I think that's the only downside to it, not having a huge studio behind it for its release, where it's a finished, basic, technically foreign film. But thankfully lately, movies like The Substance, movie like these other things, these smaller movies are slowly clawing their way up into mainstream and people are paying attention to them. So, and that doesn't mean to not stop buying the movie when you do find out about it. That's why I say, don't watch it for free. Go fucking buy this movie.
There's
your
a
favorite movies.
There's a
buy your favorites.
The Sisu 4K Blu-ray is on Amazon right now for $20, y'all. Go buy it.
Worth it.
I'm adding it to the cart right now.
Worth every freaking penny of it. All right, so this is the point where we usually have a moment.
No trash.
Nate
No trash. No.
And
No.
Crits all over the ring.
Do my
And
Anna
then
Gorman.
I start eating garbage. And then I pick up the trash
Anna
can,
Gorman?
and
I almost like that better
nickname
than
for me.
Scream
Disaster.
Queen. Anna Gorman.
All right. So
Show me your mean face. Arr, arr.
this is why they're on probation, y'all.
Sorry.
This is why. I'm not editing any of this.
And I'll be on probation with you any day of the week.
Locked up in the same cell.
So the last time I did this, it wasn't too difficult. I found one that was quite well done for the Matrix. We all got a good chuckle out of it.
The Matrix, that was a very good
Bad
negative
review. Yeah.
That's
So
like, if you do a bad review, read that one and
yeah, that's the way to do them. So with that in mind, I went in trying to find negative reviews for Sisu, and I did find them. The issue with that is I got pissed off. I am reading negative reviews and I am physically getting mad at these so-called critics on their stupid takes and ridiculousness. And so I have something to say to them instead of their review.
Give me.
Let's do it.
The biggest issue I read in all of the negative reviews was this movie is way too outlandish. It's way too much cartoon. This would never happen. This is the lowest common denominator of storytelling. This is ridiculous. Well, don't waste your time. Don't do this. And I had a moment. I had an epiphany, if you will, about this movie. Yeah. And I went, this isn't a movie about us watching exactly what's happening. The movie is actually those girls telling the story about Sisu. Because what happens with a folk legend, the stories get bigger. He didn't just jump on, he didn't just kill a bunch of guys that were in an airplane. He hooked onto the bottom of it with his pickaxe and clawed his way inside and then survived it crashing. Because the only way you can do that is if you are a legend. In this movie, when you watch it a second time and you put it in your head, think of this as someone sitting around a campfire telling a story, just like she did in the back of that bus where she's trying to get it across to those two German soldiers who Sisu is, who this man is. That's what this movie is. This movie is a literal interpretation of someone telling the story of the immortal. And it can get bigger and grander. And how did he live from this? And how did he survive that? Oh, did he save the dog? You damn right he saved the dog.
He did. Yeah.
That is where people are way too, like this. And then they poo-poo this shit and they don't actually, what they think they're being intellectual about, they don't know fucking shit. This movie is perfect. You look at a movie and this is done as a legend, the legend of Sisu, and I love it for that. So fuck all the critics.
Applause.
Thank you. So I
want to watch this again right now.
Me too.
In the eyes of the abused.
Yeah, you look at
as they're telling their tales to hopefully their grandchildren about the war and this immortal, and he might still be alive today. So be good.
Yeah,
don't go into the pond. He's gonna drink your air.
Right. It's
through your
everything.
slit throat.
You cannot shoot him. You cannot burn him. You cannot drown him. You cannot hang him. You cannot make him fall to his death.
He burns himself for fun.
But you have taken away everything that would normally kill someone.
I love it.
He is a legend. He is a folk legend.
Charlie, why are you so smart? Why are you so smart?
Because I'm sexy and I know it.
Goddamn right, you're sexy. I'm just so.
All right. Well, now that is the end of Banger March, and I think we succeeded at
Banger March was legit a banger.
It was a banger.
Was it what? Anna had like 1 under 10, right? Like
no, both of mine were under Scream was 10, this was 10.
Yeah.
Matrix was 6.5 and Big Trouble was 7.5.
7.5, I think. Yeah. So yeah.
Those are still good scores in my book.
They're good. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
she just
yeah.
didn't get the Matrix. It's totally fine.
I'm still
okay.
struggling with that. I'm still in the
Don't-
Matrix, wondering where I'm at.
Don't worry about it. It's unless you want to sit down and spend some time with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So what we've decided to do for April, we're still not doing themes, but we did decide that I get a month with my action stuff. Nate was getting a month with horror. Pete obviously gets February. And we really needed to make sure that Anna had a way to put her mark on the show. And what we got a good taste of that with Scream, which I think is a nice little teaser for everyone. So what we're doing is
so much fun.
April is going to be the month of Anna. So
I'm honored.
well,
Thank you.
Anna Prol, whatever we want to say.
Anna April.
Anna
April. Yeah.
Anna has curated her picks for April.
You never say curated about the picks that I do.
Because I don't.
Because that curated sounds so sophisticated. Refined. Like,
have you seen your movies?
Like, yes, I have, and
I was on your side this year, so I don't know why.
I know you were. What are you giving me shit for?
But I think what we're going to do is, Anna, I think you should just let each person know each week what one's going to be. So what is your pick for next week for month of Anna?
So we are kicking the month off with my horror pick. First one. It's a newer one that Charlie has not seen. I tried to also, I'm a people pleaser at heart. So I tried to pick things that I loved that I felt like the guys would also enjoy as well. So the first pick is Ready or Not.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I saw this in the theater.
Did you really?
I did.
Charlie, you're going to have fun. So is Jackie. Y'all are going to have fun with this.
I'll be honest, never heard of it. So
it's Radio Silence who did Abigail.
Yep.
The newer Scream movies. VHS started that. So they really, it's so fun. It's fun and gory.
It's a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it. And action fans, don't worry.
Don't worry.
I know what her action picks are, and you have nothing to worry about. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of fun when we get.
I can't wait to hear what they are.
He's already forgot.
He's already forgot.
He forgets. That's why we have to write shit down for him all the time.
I'll go look right now.
Don't spoil it.
I forgot. I don't want to spoil. I don't even want to spoil it. I'm not going to.
We're not going to spoil it. All right.
Wait,
so
I got to get them from the library. So
if you like what you're hearing, please continue to follow us on all of our socials. We are on Facebook at Give Me Back My Action Movies, the Facebook group. Give Me Back My Horror Movies, the Facebook group. We've gotten some new members, so that's why I had taken a long hiatus from doing this. So I was like, it's time to start doing it again. We are also on Instagram under Give Me Back My Action Movies, Give Me Back My Horror Movies. Nerd at the Movies is Anna, who she kind of bridges that gap, and she shares all the other shows that she is on. Bridges the gap. She's the bridge, not the gap. Go
bring everyone together.
She also from that account shares all her stuff with the Barons, or Tales from the Barons. What's the name of the standoff thing you're doing right now with the Yellow Jackets? Does it have a name?
Oh, we're just reviewing the third season of Yellow Jackets.
Yeah,
just doing episode
I have such
discussions.
a long way to go.
I'm glad you're watching it.
I'm on third season or third
episode of season two.
Season 2, yeah.
Very nice.
I think Jackie did like maybe season or episode 1 or 2 and went no. And
okay.
Oh
That's
my
okay.
God. I can see why she would say that.
Yep.
It's real good though.
You guys need to convince her she needs to watch it.
Like they're all an hour long.
Well, something I know she watches. The final season's coming up soon.
Yeah.
And I watched that as well, which is also kind of a horror thriller show. So I might find a way to sneak that in. Get some downloads from Jackie.
There you go. So yeah. You can follow us all over there right now. What else we going on? I've been on Parker's Dissect That Film. We did brain fart. No Holds Barred. If you listen to their podcast episode,
saw that in the theater too.
You have to go on their YouTube and watch the video version because you are not prepared.
Oh yeah.
for what you will see
This
on the
goober.
video version of No Holds Barred on Dissect That Film. Please go check that out.
The video version. Yep.
The video version. They do it on YouTube there all the time, so make sure you check that out. I caused some chaos in their Discord. I got a movie pick out of it.
You got a movie pick?
Yeah, don't movie pick. Pete
movie.
Corner.
Damn it.
But yeah. So yeah, check us out all over there. We are everywhere on the socials.
I was on
Instagram's the
Spoils
best
of
one.
Horror recently, and that
Yeah.
well, actually, it's not out yet. So
It's not out yet, so you can't drop that yet. We can't know.
I can't drop that?
No. We're us here. We're not supposed to know either. I was informed.
Well-
we're not supposed to know what you're covering.
Oh.
I think technically we weren't supposed to know you were on.
I fucked that up, didn't I?
Only
You
half.
clearly have already known about this.
Of course, I'm Charlie. I know everything.
It's a very funny story. I've been in Discord with another podcast of an old friend. And I'm like, hey, Charlie thinks this movie sucks. And Charlie gets in there and goes, hey, I'm Charlie. Like, what are you doing in here? I'm everywhere.
I straight up put that in. Go check out Time Shifters. Our
Time
buddy
Shifters
Chris.
podcast with my friend Chris. Yes.
Awesome stuff.
Christopher.
Yep. Can't get away from me, Pete. No matter what you do.